Yes, you're still onto the economy today, and right now we want to discuss, the new president, the Nigerian economy in focus. On Monday, this week, a new president was elected and inaugurated, rather, that's Ashwaju Ahmed Tinubu. And in his inaugural speech, he did promise, or rather vowed, that he will be able to try and eliminate poverty, create jobs, and also discuss do the issue of rampant insecurity. Now, you also know that the last administration left so many gaps in the economy, and one of them is insecurity, the falling in fuel or economy, the high debt, and also the large expanse of non-job that is being scattered all over Nigeria, which means that a lot of people do not have job at the moment. So I have Folarin Joseph, a young politician who is online to discuss this. Hello, Folarin.
Thank you. Great to be
Yes,
here.
Folarin, recently the new president gave his inaugural speech. And one of the things he said was he vowed that he was going to create a new jobs, he was going to, make the economy better. But then, just a day after, we're having fuel shortages and a lot of other things. So can you say something about that?
Yeah, thank you very much once again. In his inaugural speech, also, he pointed out that there is no subsidy, and 24 hours later, we could see the ripple effect of his pronouncement. It says a lot about the presidential directive, because every word carry weight, and we could see the effect already. The marketers, the petrol station, already adjusted their pump price in reaction to his pronouncements. And we could see so many queues across the country. I think, in my view, that was an hasty decision because being the first day in office after the swearing, no one will expect such a pronouncement from him at this moment, considering the fact that um, his mantra on a renewed hope. This doesn't suggest any hope whatsoever. It's just like placing more burden on citizens who are even still trying to survive, and moving from one point to another now will be an Herculean task for citizens, because we could see now motorists are spending much hours. The transport fare now is on the high side already now. So it tells a lot because it will create an atmosphere of confusion and chaos and it's not a good way to start an administration with such a decision, because Section 17 subsection uh, suggestion 2C said that governmental action should be humane. As far as I'm
Mm.
concerned, this action cannot be classified as humane in any way, in any form whatsoever. Because fine, there's need for you to engage more. Even if you want to take this decision, which some people have applauded as being courageous on the side by making this pronouncement. There's a way you engage citizens to see reason why you need to take this action. Rushing into it now, we know the ripple effect on goods and services, food prices, and considering the food inflation over 30% already now. How will citizens cope under this atmosphere?
Now, yeah, so before I go into other things, let's go into the fuel subsidy. You will recall that, even before this, just this new administration, the past administrations and and its predecessors have debated on the issue of fuel subsidy and the removing of fuel subsidy. And in the 2023 budget, I don't think there's any provision for fuel subsidy. And so, don't you think that, he's just following what is on ground?
Yeah, well, yeah, yes. Don't forget that there are several announcements to this effect before now. The former Minister of Finance, yeah, after the PIB was signed to law that okay,
Mm.
by this year, and the subsidy will be removed. And if you look closely, that there was a provision for subsidy from January to June.
Mm.
Yeah, in the 2023 budget, over 2.5 trillion. If I can get the figure rightly. So one would have expected the incoming government to at least take a while to even study the whole terrain and look at the ripple effect of its action. I think not much planning was going to this, because if truly there was extensive planning into this, of course, this reaction across board from the petrol stations and the challenges faced by citizens moving from one point to another this morning will have been addressed. I think the money is to be done in terms of scenario planning. Okay, what is the implication of my action? How will the citizen feel the impact? I think that's very, very important. But going forward now, the burden lies on the incoming administration to face the consequences of the pronouncement, because the ripple effect in days ahead will be unimaginable.
So do you think the pronouncement was quite hasty? I mean, what can actually be done? And what can be done?
I think, yeah, I don't think there's due engagement with citizens, with opinion leaders on the way forward. You don't rush it through this, because the consequence of this action, where we have a debilitating reaction across board, from house rent, food prices, production, everything. So of course, I don't think much was done into this. There's need for excessive consultation. Of course, it's still early days in the life of this government. Of course, there's need to pause a bit to engage people and see reason why. Okay, if truly you want to take this action, of course you can even give it a time. Now that Dangote refinery is coming on stream in the next few months, of course, why not tarry for a while there and expect production to kickstart there, and you set up an arrangement with the Dangote refinery whereby, okay, certain prices will be sold to you at a certain level, and it will be a phased approach. I think that is the way I will advise, because I will not join in support of an outright removal of subsidy because of the effect on citizens. Of course, government is there for the life, for the survival of citizens. Citizens needs to be able to maximize their potential. Citizens needs the support of government in creating a conducive environment, and of course, the consequence of this removal of subsidy, we have a ripple effect on everything as far as I'm concerned, and it's the hours spent on in the filling station can be maximized into productive sector. But it's sad, because starting the government in this direction, I think it leaves much to be deserved as far as I'm concerned.
But let's just look at this from this angle. Don't you think he means well for Nigerians? Because the issue of fuel subsidy has been on for a very, very long time. And yes, our refineries are not quite functioning. They are not functioning at all. And now we have a private refinery in the name of the Dangote refinery that Nigeria has invested also, or has an investment in, and will want that to also have a rippling effect on the economy. But then, do you think that is a solution to the issue of fuel, the shortages in fuel?
I think first thing first, I think we need to ask ourselves why we are here at this moment. Is the failure of successive government to fix our refineries. Yeah, date back in 2015, the government of Buhari promised so much that, okay, our refinery will be up and doing, will be able to meet our domestic consumption. And up to this moment, our refinery is still not working. We are importing our refined crude from outside the shores of Nigeria. Of course, and you look at the cost implication involved there. And to Nigerians, so many people feel that, okay, the old arrangement is intentional, just to ensure that, okay, this management of a subsidy, of course, where money exchange hands in terms of manipulation of volume of quantities of or product brought into the country, storage, the cost incurred over the years. Of course, some people love the status quo, and you and I know that in the midst of confusion, so some set of people, benefit tremendously from it. Of course, yes, the responsibility lies on government, and as we always say, that government is continuum. So it's not an excuse, but what needs to be done in the short term now, I think, going outrightly, putting an end to subsidy is dangerous for the livelihood of citizens. Government exists for citizens, and what needs to be done at the moment now, I think the present administration needs to sit back and reflect on the directive and engage more. And while engaging more, you can set timelines on the phased approach of this subsidy, because if we go on this way, I don't the effect on Nigerians, on citizens, will not be appreciable, and that will lead to chaos, because the incoming administration needs stability to even implement its campaign promises, its renewed hope document.
All right, Folarin, we'll go for a very short break, and I'll be right back with you. And when we come back, we'll be discussing the other issues. He did vow that he was going to look into the economy, also looking out to job creation, looking into reopening the border. That is tackling the issue of the border closure, which actually affected the investment, and also the issue of uncertainty in the polity itself. We'll go for a very short break, and I'll be right back. Yes, welcome back. Where we have been discussing the new president and also the economy in focus. And in our last segment of this interview, we did discuss a lot about the fuel subsidy and how it is affecting Nigerians now and the ripple effect to that. And right now, we want to look at the investments. The president, or the new president rather, has promised that investment will come, but also we know that in the past administration, the borders were shut, which really affected the Nigerian economy and insecurity. With this new administration, they also has promised that job creation will be available. So, Folarin, how do you see this statement? Do you think they are just wishes or mere wishes, or are they certain, credentials of this new administration? Are they certain of what they are going to do?
I say in the realm of we're wishing, aspiring. Of course, there's no harm in making statement that will give hope to the citizen. I think, the first issue that needs to be addressed is still our insecurity, especially across the northern part and the southern part. Yes, most especially some farmers able to access their farm, able to avoid paying a harvest tax, because we've been hearing report that for every crops harvested, so amount is paid to some non-state actor, and it shouldn't be, and that's enough to discourage you. Aside looking at the post-harvest losses also, because according to reports, over 50% of harvest is agricultural produce is lost, maybe due to poor storage facility, inability to move the produce timely to the market and to sell it, and that's enough discouragement. So it's a proposal to set up farm up in ensuring that farm produce are processed, are stored, and also minimize post-harvest losses is a good one. Of course, we need action, because beyond words, the how is very, very important. What policies, what intervention will be open to farmers also in ensuring that they improve their productivity, and also minimize the cost of farm input in ensuring that they can plant more and harvest more, and that will bring down the cost of food prices in the market, because it's not been a good story across board. Going to the market, the prices keep fluctuating day in, day out. Difficult to even ensure that you get a 3 square meal for citizen. I think this issue really needs to be looked up to. In respect to attracting foreign direct investment also, one thing is very, very important. With your favorable law policy, that is enough to attract foreign direct investment also. Aside that also, yeah, it spoke about ensuring that there's a convergence in the exchange rate and the parallel market. Of course, there are no investments will bring in money into a business environment of uncertainty, because investors want to plan their returns, their profits. Also, investing so amount, maybe over 3-4 years, this is their expected profit. Of course, there should be a clarity in our economic policy, in our monetary policy, in our trade policy also, because we hear so many reports also because of bringing raw materials into the country, the issues being faced there, multiple agencies trying to carry out inspection, and also moving out your item from the port to your destination. Also, the cost incurred also on the way through so many nonsense actors also, the double taxation. I think that is very, very important. If you can put an end to that, of course, that will encourage more people also to do business, and that will expand our economy, and more taxes will be received from government, and which will be put to productive use in ensuring that we expand our infrastructure just to improve the economic activities.
Now, in your first, your earlier statement, you said, it could be, these are just mere talks, or maybe wishes, from the new president to give hope to the people. Like he said, this is a renewed hope. But then, do you think it is certain that doing all these things, that there will be a will to do all these things, the right way, so that it can actually impact positively on the people?
Yeah, the will is very, very important. No matter how good your policy, your intention is, also, if you don't have the willingness to implement it, to enforce it, I think it's still, it will still be on paper, because no one applauds anyone for having good intention. It's getting the work done against all the, and the first thing first is to ensuring that it gets people who can implement his policy, because he can't do it. He needs people who can implement policy, who can enforce your ideas, who can bring your vision into fusion. So that the burden lies on him now is to select credible leaders, credible ministers, advisors, economic advisors across the ministry, department, agency, and also we fail to mention this also. There's need for us to reform our civil service also, because these are the engine room of government, because they implement government policy, and also instead of outsourcing some of these tasks and programs to consultants. Of course, we have this civil service across, but these guys are paying massively. Of course, why are they there if they cannot live up to their responsibility, if they cannot provide support for political appointees, politicians, technocrats to join forces together in implementing policies of government, in ensuring that his vision for this country is actualized, in attracting more FDI, in expanding our economy, in creating opportunities for the youth through creating an investment-friendly business climate, in bringing more investors to the country, and also investing massively in human capital, which is very, very important. Also, there's a need for you to invest more in the teeming youth, because the growing population is alarming, and there's a need to channel their energy into productive use to contribute their quota to nation building. Our vocational centers across the country needs to be fine-tuned, need to be upgraded to meet modern realities, to meet market needs, because when we in the course of interaction with most of these companies doing business in Nigeria, the issue is always been that the lack of skills of our youth. That's why they outsource some of these jobs to the foreigners, to their expatriates to carry out. And there's need for government also to massively invest in the youth, invest in the young, in the youth of this country, invest in the girl child, invest in the male force also, so that their energy will be channeled into productive use that will be useful and good for Nigeria as a whole.
Yes, Folarin, you would agree that the Nigerian economy is driven by the private sector involvement in it. But then the Nigerian government, or rather the government, is the largest spender. So how do you, because of all these things that is happening right now, it seems that the MSMEs and the SMEs are really suffering a great deal. So what do you think should be done by this administration?
Okay, yes. For the SMEs, of course, the cost of doing business also, like I rightly pointed out, also needs to be looked into. And first thing first, also to stimulate productivity, we need to look at power. Power is very, very essential. Yeah, the last administration signed a deal with the Siemens company to ensure that improve on our power generation, so to over 20%, to 20,000 megawatts. But from the data available, I don't think we fall short of the plan. So there's a need for much attention on the part of the new administration. Also, we need to invest massively in the power sector. Look at the renewable energy also. How we can grow our power output that will sustain small businesses, the MSMEs also, because the cost of doing business is very, very high in the country here. Most especially companies who drive their production from diesel, and you and I know the cost of diesel in the market. Of course, the effect also will be felt in the cost of goods and services also rendered to people. And of course, when the margin of profit is minimal, that's enough discouragement. That's enough discouragement to even reduce the workforce. So of course, if we can address the power sector, is very I think that will improve our business activity. More business will be resuscitated, because for the past few years, we know so many businesses who died, who could not withstand the harsh economic climate. So once we can fix our power sector, we can also look at also our transportation sector also. Moving our product from one point to another, linking, it is a way to link the 6 geopolitical zone to one another through train, I think, which will aid the speedy and timely delivery of goods, moving our farm produce also from the farm down to the city center, and it will also stimulate productivity. Aside that also, the cost of doing business also is very, very important in respect to tax, multiple taxation also. There should be a uniform tax regime there, not where federal is making requesting taxes from you. State also, local government, aside local government, the non-state actors also, like I pointed out earlier on, in getting your goods out of the port to your market, to your stores.